What if I told you that some of the most powerful garden pest control and yield boosters ever discovered aren't inexpensive chemical sprays or high-tech greenhouses, but were sitting right in your grandmother's backyard victory garden? Most people don't know this, but while we've been dumping hundreds of dollars on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, Depression-era gardeners were getting better results by simply planting the right plants next to each other. These companion planting combinations were so effective that entire communities depended on them to survive food shortages. I've been gardening for over 40 years, learning many of these techniques directly from neighbors who lived through the 1950s. What started as old wives' tales has now been validated by modern agricultural research. These aren't just folklore. They're scientifically proven partnerships that can transform your harvest. Coming up, you'll discover number 14, the wasp-summoning herb that Pennsylvania Dutch farmers used to eliminate cabbage worms completely. And wait until you see number 23, the flower that acts like a living pesticide factory, producing compounds so powerful that chemical companies tried to synthesize them in the 1960s. If you want to grow more food with less work using time-tested methods that actually work, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I share these forgotten gardening secrets every week, straight from decades of hands-on experience and the wisdom of gardeners who had to make every plant count. So let's get into it. Here are 27 forgotten companion planting pairs that 1950s gardeners swore by, ranked from solid to absolutely game-changing. Number 1. Lettuce and radishes, the quick shade nurses that save space. Back in 1943, Victory Garden manuals recommended this pairing for maximum food production in minimal space during wartime rationing. My neighbor Mrs. Henderson taught me this back in '78, and I've been using it ever since. The trick is timing. Plant radish seeds every 4 inches between lettuce transplants. Radishes mature in 25 days, providing temporary shade while lettuce establishes, then harvest radishes as lettuce fills the space. Here's why it works. Radishes break soil compaction, allowing lettuce roots to spread wider. The radishes act like living cultivators, loosening the soil for the more delicate lettuce roots that follow. But here's the thing. This isn't just about space. It's about creating the perfect microclimate. The radish leaves provide just enough shade to prevent lettuce from bolting in hot weather, while their quick harvest clears the way before competition becomes an issue. Think of it as a perfectly timed relay race that's been waiting for you to rediscover maximum garden efficiency. Number 2. Peas and carrots, the nitrogen-fixing foundation my neighbor taught me. The 1950s Farmer's Almanac listed this as essential for soil building, with pea roots leaving nitrogen deposits that carrots could access later in the season. I learned this from old Mr. Peterson next door back in '81, and it doubled my carrot harvest that very year. Modern science has caught up in a dramatic way. Peas fix nitrogen, reducing carrot fertilizer needs. But here's what most people miss. The pea roots create channels that help carrot taproots penetrate clay soil. Plant peas first in early spring, then direct sow carrot seeds 2 inches away from pea plants when pods start forming. The timing is crucial. You want those pea roots working the soil before the carrots need to push deep. Think of it as an underground partnership that's been hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to unlock natural soil fertility. Number 3. Pole beans and corn. The Three Sisters Foundation that built civilizations. Native Americans perfected this combination over 1,000 years ago, with early colonists adopting it for survival during harsh winters. This isn't just companion planting. It's a complete ecosystem that sustained entire cultures. Recent biodiversity studies confirm this polyculture system produces more protein per square foot than monoculture plantings. The beans climb corn while fixing nitrogen for next year's crop. It's brilliant in its simplicity. Here's the technique that separates success from failure. Plant corn first, wait until stalks reach 6 inches, then plant 4 to 6 bean seeds around each corn stalk. Too early, and the beans will pull down young corn. Too late, and the corn gets too tall for beans to climb effectively. Think of it as nature's skyscraper system that's been waiting for you to build vertical abundance. Number 4. Turnips and peas. The cool season power couple that extends harvests. Scottish immigrants brought this pairing to America in the 1800s, using it to maximize production during short growing seasons. In those harsh northern climates, every day of harvest mattered for winter survival. Research shows turnip roots break up hardpan soil, increasing pea yields in heavy clay conditions. The turnips act like living tillers, creating better drainage and root penetration for both crops. Plant turnips and peas simultaneously in early spring. Turnips provide wind protection for delicate pea shoots, while both crops mature together for extended harvest. You get 2 crops from the same space with better soil for next season. Think of it as a mutual protection society that's been waiting for you to extend your growing season. Number 5. Lettuce and chives. The aphid-repelling duo that keeps salads clean. French intensive gardening manuals from the 1920s featured this combination for pest-free salad production in small spaces. Those Parisian market gardeners knew how to squeeze maximum production from tiny plots. Studies show chive sulfur compounds reduce aphid populations on nearby lettuce plants. The chives act like living pesticide while providing continuous harvest of mild onion flavor for salads. Plant chive transplants every 8 inches along lettuce rows. Keep chives trimmed to 6 inches to avoid shading. The sulfur compounds create an invisible protective barrier that aphids simply won't cross. Think of it as a bodyguard system that's been waiting for you to discover chemical-free pest control. Number 6. Chives and carrots. The tiny allium shield that halves fly damage. German gardeners documented this pairing in the 1940s as essential protection against carrot rust fly infestations that could destroy entire crops. During wartime, losing a carrot crop meant real hunger. Research shows chive aromatics confuse carrot fly navigation, reducing larval damage. The flies literally can't find the carrots through the chive scent barrier. Interplant chive clumps every 12 inches along carrot rows, keeping chives trimmed to 6 inches to avoid shading. The sulfur compounds create an aromatic force field around your carrots. The reason this got forgotten is simple. Chemical pesticides in the 1960s made natural repellents seem old-fashioned until resistance issues brought them back. Think of it as an aromatic force field that's been waiting for you to activate natural pest protection. Number 7. Radishes and cucumbers. The beetle trap that saves vines. 1950s extension bulletins recommended radishes as trap crops for striped cucumber beetles that devastated Depression-era gardens. When you couldn't afford to lose a single cucumber, every trick mattered. Research confirms radish glucosinolates attract cucumber beetles away from main crops, reducing vine damage. The beetles prefer radish leaves, allowing cucumbers to establish strong root systems. Plant radish borders 6 inches around cucumber hills, succession planting every 2 weeks. The beetles get distracted by the radishes, while your cucumber vines grow strong enough to handle minor pest pressure. Think of it as a decoy system that's been waiting for you to outsmart garden pests. Number 8. Petunias and beans. The flower fence that drives beetles away. Southern gardeners in the 1940s planted petunias around bean patches, claiming the flowers' sticky sap trapped Mexican bean beetles. What seemed like superstition turned out to be solid science. Studies show petunia glandular trichomes release compounds that interfere with beetle feeding behavior. The sticky plant hairs physically trap small pests while deterring larger ones. Plant petunia borders 8 inches from bean rows, pinching flowers to encourage bushy growth. You want maximum leaf surface area for the sticky compounds to work effectively. The reason petunias got forgotten is simple. Ornamental flowers were separated from vegetable gardens in suburban landscape design of the 1960s. Think of it as a beautiful trap that's been waiting for you to combine flowers with food production. Number 9. Peppers and basil. The flavor-masking pair that confuses aphids. Italian immigrants brought this traditional pairing to America, with family gardens featuring basil planted throughout pepper patches. This wasn't just about convenience, it was about survival of their crops. Research shows basil volatile oils mask pepper plant odors that attract aphids and thrips, reducing pest populations. The aromatic compounds create a scent barrier around peppers. Plant basil transplants 10 inches from pepper plants, harvesting basil leaves regularly to maintain oil production. Regular harvesting keeps the plants producing those protective volatile compounds. Think of it as an aromatic camouflage system that's been waiting for you to hide your crops from pests. Number 10. Onions and strawberries. The slug-deterring ring that protects berries. English cottage gardeners documented this pairing in the 1800s, with onion borders protecting strawberry beds from slug damage. Those English gardens dealt with slug pressure like nowhere else on Earth. Studies confirm onion sulfur compounds irritate slug mucous membranes, creating a protective zone around plantings. The sulfur literally burns their slime trails. Plant onion sets in rings 6 inches from strawberry crowns, maintaining onion tops at 8 inches height. The sulfur barrier deters slugs while onions provide secondary harvest. Think of it as a living fortress that's been waiting for you to protect your sweetest crops. Number 11. Garlic and strawberries. The alicin armor that prevents root rot. Ohio growers in the 1940s used this combination to prevent strawberry root diseases that could wipe out entire patches. Before fungicides, biological controls were the only option. Research shows garlic alicin compounds suppress soil-borne fungi, reducing strawberry root rot. The garlic roots release antifungal compounds throughout the growing season. Plant garlic cloves 4 inches deep and 8 inches from strawberry crowns in fall. The garlic establishes over winter and protects strawberries through the growing season. The reason this got forgotten is simple. Fungicide development in the 1950s replaced biological controls until organic growing revived interest in natural methods. Think of it as underground medicine that's been waiting for you to heal your soil naturally. Here's what most people miss about companion planting. We're just getting to the really amazing ones. If this is helping you see your garden differently, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed because the next combinations are absolute game changers. Number 12. Tomatoes and parsley. The hoverfly magnet that devours aphids. Pennsylvania Dutch gardeners interplanted parsley with tomatoes, observing that beneficial insects kept pest populations under control. They didn't understand the science, but they knew it worked. Studies show parsley umbel flowers attract hoverflies, whose larvae consume hundreds of aphids each during development. It's like hiring a microscopic pest control army. Sow parsley seeds between tomato transplants, allowing plants to flower. The tiny blooms provide nectar for beneficial insects, while parsley roots don't compete with tomatoes. Think of it as a beneficial insect restaurant that's been waiting for you to hire natural pest control. Number 13. Spinach and strawberries. The living mulch that conserves moisture. Victory Garden guides recommended spinach as living mulch under strawberries to maximize water efficiency during rationing. Every drop of water had to count during the war years. Research shows spinach ground cover reduces soil moisture loss while providing secondary crop harvest. You get 2 crops and better growing conditions for both. Plant spinach seeds 4 inches from strawberry crowns in early spring. Spinach provides cool season harvest while shading strawberry roots during hot weather. Think of it as a living carpet that's been waiting for you to create perfect growing conditions. Number 14. Dill and cabbage. The wasp summoner that eliminates cabbage worms. Pennsylvania Dutch farmers planted dill throughout cabbage patches, observing that parasitic wasps controlled cabbage worm populations naturally. They called it summoning the good spirits to fight the bad ones. Studies confirm dill flowers attract trichogramma wasps that parasitize cabbage moth eggs. These tiny wasps lay eggs inside pest moth eggs, preventing caterpillar damage. Plant dill seeds every 10 feet among cabbage transplants, allowing plants to flower. The tiny wasps are so small you'll barely see them, but they're incredibly effective. The reason this got forgotten is simple. BT sprays introduced in the 1960s provided instant control, making biological pest management seem slow and unreliable. Think of it as a microscopic army recruitment center that's been waiting for you to enlist nature's pest control. Number 15. Nasturtiums and brassicas, the aphid magnet that sacrifices itself. English gardeners used nasturtiums as trap crops for aphids, burning infested plants to protect valuable cabbage and broccoli crops. It was a calculated sacrifice that saved the main harvest. Research shows nasturtiums attract more aphids than brassicas, concentrating pests for easy removal. The nasturtiums become living pest magnets. Plant nasturtium borders around cabbage family crops, monitoring for aphid buildup and removing heavily infested nasturtium plants. The flowers act as heroic decoys for your valuable crops. Think of it as a heroic decoy that's been waiting for you to sacrifice beauty for bountiful harvests. Number 16. Sunflowers and corn. The earworm trap that saves sweet corn. Midwest farmers in the 1940s planted sunflower borders around cornfields, noting dramatically reduced earworm damage in protected areas. The timing had to be perfect for this trick to work. Research confirms sunflowers attract corn earworm moths earlier than corn, concentrating egg laying away from valuable crops. It's all about intercepting the pests before they find your corn. Plant sunflowers 2 weeks before corn around field borders. Moths prefer sunflower buds for egg laying, allowing corn ears to develop without damage. Think of it as a timing trick that's been waiting for you to outsmart pest life cycles. Number 17. Catnip and squash. The mosquito-repelling border that protects gardeners. Appalachian gardeners planted catnip around squash patches, creating comfortable working conditions while tending sprawling vines. Working in the garden became pleasant instead of miserable. Studies show catnip nipetolactone is highly effective at repelling mosquitoes and other biting insects. The aromatic compounds create a mosquito-free zone for garden work. Plant catnip transplants 3 feet from squash hills, maintaining plants at 18 inches height. You want the aromatic compounds without the catnip taking over your entire garden. The reason this got forgotten is simple. Chemical insect repellents marketed in the 1950s promised convenience over natural alternatives. Think of it as a personal protection system that's been waiting for you to reclaim comfortable gardening. Number 18. Borage and strawberries. The mineral pump that sweetens berries. Medieval monastery gardens featured borage with strawberries, with monks documenting improved fruit flavor and plant health. Those monks were careful observers who recorded everything. Studies show borage's deep taproot brings up potassium and trace minerals, increasing strawberry sugar content. The borage acts like a living mineral pump. Plant borage seeds 12 inches from strawberry rows, cutting plants back before they shade berries. The decomposing leaves add minerals to soil, while the living roots mine deep nutrients. Think of it as an underground mining operation that's been waiting for you to discover natural soil enrichment. Number 19. Mint and cabbage. The ant-deterring barrier that stops aphid farmers. Colonial American gardens featured mint borders around vegetable patches, with gardeners noting reduced ant activity and cleaner crops. They understood that ants and aphids work together. Research shows mint essential oils disrupt ant pheromone trails, reducing aphid populations when ants can't tend them. Break up the ant-aphid partnership, and you solve two problems at once. Plant mint in buried containers 18 inches from cabbage rows to prevent spreading. The aromatic barrier confuses ant navigation while providing herb harvest. Think of it as chemical warfare that's been waiting for you to break up pest partnerships. Number 20. Horseradish and potatoes. The fungal fighter that prevents blight. German immigrants planted horseradish with potatoes, observing that root crops stayed healthier in mixed plantings than monocultures. They brought this wisdom from the old country, where it meant survival. Studies show horseradish glucosinolates suppress soil fungi, reducing potato scab and blight. The compounds leach into soil, providing ongoing protection. Plant horseradish roots 2 feet from potato rows, harvesting leaves monthly to maintain root growth. You want active root growth to keep producing those protective compounds. The reason this got forgotten is simple. Chemical fungicides introduced in the 1940s provided immediate results, making slow-acting biological controls seem ineffective. Think of it as an underground pharmacy that's been waiting for you to prescribe natural disease prevention. Number 21. Bush beans and potatoes. The nitrogen-fixing duo that builds soil. Irish gardeners developed this combination during the potato famine, maximizing nutrition and soil fertility from limited space. When every square foot had to produce maximum food, this pairing delivered. Research shows beans fix nitrogen, reducing potato fertilizer needs. The bean roots leave nitrogen deposits for next season's crops. Plant bush beans between potato rows after hilling, timing bean harvest before potato digging. The beans improve soil while providing protein to balance the potato carbohydrates. Think of it as a soil savings account that's been waiting for you to invest in long-term fertility. Number 22. Carrots and onions. The mutual protection society that confuses pests. French intensive gardeners perfected this pairing in the 1800s, documenting pest-free harvests when crops were properly interplanted. The French understood that confusion was the best defense. Studies show onion sulfur compounds repel carrot rust fly, while carrot aromatics deter onion maggots, reducing pest damage. The competing scents create confusion for pest insects. Alternate rows of carrots and onions 6 inches apart, succession planting every 3 weeks. The timing keeps fresh scents in the air throughout the growing season. Think of it as a witness protection program that's been waiting for you to hide crops from their natural enemies. Number 23. Sage and brassicas, the cabbage moth repellent that clears the air. Mediterranean gardeners surrounded cabbage family crops with sage, creating aromatic barriers that protected against flying pests. The sage created an invisible dome of protection. Research shows sage volatile oils interfere with cabbage moth navigation, reducing egg laying. The camphor-like compounds broadcast natural pest control. Plant sage transplants every 8 feet around brassica beds, harvesting leaves regularly to maintain oil production. Regular harvesting keeps the plants producing maximum volatile compounds. Think of it as an aromatic force field that's been waiting for you to broadcast natural pest control. Number 24. Cosmos and tomatoes. The beneficial insect hotel that fights hornworms. Victory Garden manuals recommended Cosmos borders for tomato patches, noting increased populations of beneficial insects. The Cosmos created 5-star accommodations for the good bugs. Studies show Cosmos flowers attract parasitic wasps that control tomato hornworms, reducing caterpillar damage. The nectar feeds beneficial insects that patrol for pests. Plant Cosmos seeds 18 inches from tomato cages, allowing plants to flower continuously. You want a constant supply of nectar to keep your beneficial insect army well fed. The reason this got forgotten is simple. Chemical pesticides in the 1950s killed beneficial insects along with pests, making biological control seem unreliable. Think of it as a beneficial insect bed and breakfast that's been waiting for you to host natural pest control. Number 25. Tansy and fruit trees. The ant-repelling carpet that protects roots. Colonial orchardists planted tansy under fruit trees, observing healthier trees and reduced pest problems in treated areas. The tansy created a protective carpet around valuable trees. Research shows tansy compounds repel ants and root aphids, improving tree health and fruit production. The aromatic compounds protect the entire root zone. Plant tansy transplants in 3-foot circles around tree trunks, cutting back before seed set to prevent spreading. You want the protection without tansy taking over your entire orchard. Think of it as a living pesticide carpet that's been waiting for you to protect your most valuable plants. Number 26. Lavender and roses. The aphid-deterring partnership that perfumes gardens. English cottage gardens traditionally paired lavender with roses, creating fragrant borders that stayed pest-free throughout the season. Beauty and function combined in perfect harmony. Studies show lavender essential oils reduce rose aphids while attracting beneficial predatory insects. The aromatic oils provide ongoing pest protection. Plant lavender transplants 2 feet from rose bushes, harvesting flowers before peak bloom. The harvesting maintains oil production while giving you fragrant flowers for the house. Think of it as a perfumed bodyguard service that's been waiting for you to protect your most beautiful flowers. Number 27. Marigolds and everything. The universal pest fighter that chemical companies tried to copy. Aztec gardeners used marigolds throughout their agricultural systems, with Spanish conquistadors documenting pest-free crops in marigold-protected fields. This was the foundation of an entire agricultural civilization. Studies confirm marigolds produce thiophenies and pyrethrum compounds so effective that chemical companies spent millions trying to synthesize them in the 1960s. Nature had already perfected what science tried to copy. Plant marigolds every 3 feet throughout garden beds, choosing French varieties for strongest pest control. The roots release nematode-killing compounds, while flowers repel flying pests. Here's why marigolds got forgotten. Synthetic pesticides promised easier application than maintaining flower borders, until resistance and environmental concerns revived interest in natural methods. But here's the thing about marigolds. They're not just pest control. They're soil builders, pollinator magnets, and cut flowers all in one package. Modern science confirms what the Aztecs knew. Marigolds create healthier soil biology, suppress harmful nematodes, and attract beneficial insects that provide ongoing pest control. The key is choosing the right varieties. French marigolds pack the strongest pest-fighting compounds, while African marigolds provide the biggest visual impact. Signet marigolds offer edible flowers with a citrus tang that brightens salads. Think of it as nature's chemical factory that's been waiting for you to manufacture your own pest control. Here's what I want you to understand. These aren't just random plant combinations. They're sophisticated biological systems that took generations to perfect. Modern science is finally catching up to what our grandparents knew instinctively. If this opened your eyes to forgotten garden wisdom, smash that like button. Drop a comment below and tell me which pairing surprised you the most. Are you Team Three Sisters for maximum production? Team Marigolds for universal pest control? Or Team Herb Barriers for aromatic protection? Make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell, because I'm sharing more of these lost gardening secrets every week. Techniques that can transform your harvest without breaking your budget. Remember, sometimes the most powerful garden solutions aren't in the latest products at the garden center. Sometimes they're in your grandmother's memory, just waiting for you to rediscover the wisdom that fed families for generations.